Hey, everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am so blessed and honored to be here with my good friend, Chuck White. Chuck, how are you doing today?
Well, with the pre-game talk we've just had, I'm doing a whole lot better because it was getting a little salty here pre-broadcast.
Oh,
I
come
like it.
on now, Chuck. Chuck, is the person who has been on Love and Reload the most times historically. I think somebody needs to fact that. Somebody needs to fact check that.
Yeah,
But,
that's
Chuck, I feel like we've done a lot of things together, Chuck. We've worked really close together. Very few people know me as well as you, Chuck.
let's start rumors now. Come on now.
Very few. Yeah, no. I mean, the things we've shared, the highs, the lows, the wins, and the fantasy losses.
Yes. Particularly your fantasy losses.
Yes. Yeah. Big shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Hit that like button right now. We're going to take your questions. We're going to take your comments. Let's have fun in the comments. Put your name out there. Put your company. I want to give you all a shout out. Where are you watching from? IAM has members in so many countries. Chuck, how many countries do y'all represent?
170 countries. We are the UN.
Wow. 170 countries.
Some people would say we're part of the CIA, but I wouldn't say that.
Wow. That's no, that's I wouldn't say. You can neither confirm nor deny. Yeah. No, this is look at Lakeland. Lakeland checking in here. Lakeland, I'm on with you guys. What's up, Lake? How's it going? Lake, I notice you're on Facebook right now. That is super interesting. I'm going to tell you why. We are going to be doing some really cool stuff from the IAM conference, and it involves Facebook. I'm not going to start a rumor that IAM's buying Facebook. I'm not going to do that here. But there's definitely going to be put a deposit down. Yes, like your registration. We are going to put a deposit down. I want to ask the audience here, what is the number one thing? Lake, everybody watching right now, hit that like button. What is the number one thing that you look forward to taking away from a conference experience? This is an ask the audience question here. I want everybody watching to tell me the one thing. Pick one. I know there's a lot of things we get from the conference, but pick one thing. What is the number one thing that you look forward to taking away from the IAM conference? Put it in the comments right now. I want to know. Lake, Jim Walsh, everybody out there, I want to know, what is that one thing? Chuck, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you hear from your membership is the number one thing that they take away?
What number one thing is business, connections. I mean, there is no replacement. And this is where the void is going to be filled this year, because in 2020 and 2021, we did not have the kind of conference that we normally have. And I think that there was a void that was left on the new business connections that people could make. Everything had to happen virtually. Everything happened via email, online. And now you're going to have the ability to get in front of all of those people from around the world. Our numbers are going to be spectacular, I think, for this convention.
We're going to talk about the numbers too, because I'm hearing some rumors about the numbers, and they're pretty impressive. So I'm looking forward to getting a projection. Let's check in and see who's out there. Hit that like button if you just checked in. I want to know who you are, where you're from, and what is the number one thing that you look forward to taking away from a conference. Put it in there. Drew Phillips checking in. Is Chuck related to Barry? That voice and that background.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Drew, I don't 100% know where you're going with that.
That's Barry White. Come on, man.
Yeah, there's a Chuck Berry. Is Barry White? Is Chuck related to Barry White? Oh, I get it now. I didn't know where he was going, Chuck.
Thank you.
Chuck, you might have to come host this show.
Oh, I think I can do it.
Lake is saying networking with partners. Yes. Lake, is there a particular partner you want to give a shout out to that you met at the IAM conference? I remember I met one of my clients and good friends, Hosea Botley, at the IAM conference in Washington, D.C. for the first time.
2018?
Yeah, I guess it was it the fifth? Was it the fifth? No, not the 50. 55?
Let's go. If it was 2018, let's minus that from 60. So that would be 4 years ago, maybe. Is that it?
Hard to tell. But yeah.
I think I can subtract 18 from 22.
He still got it, people. He still got it. Allison McDaniel says new business. Allison's up in Alaska, I believe.
Yes, she is.
That's awesome. Georgia is saying, can't wait to hear about the IAM annual meeting. The conference takeaway is networking.
There you go.
Georgia's a pro at that too. I remember my first conference, Georgia was teaching a class, if you will. So this is your first conference, I think was the title of the breakout session. And it was in the Expo Hall, right next to the buffet, which was super convenient for me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gone. But I just meandered over there with my finger foods and listened to Georgia Engel, drop some knowledge about networking. Thank you, Georgia. Appreciate you always being so kind. Steve Miser saying maybe some respect for the shoes in the house.
Hey, those are the men right there and women that are making it happen. Without them, it just doesn't happen.
I want to know, Chuck, are drivers coming to IAM this year?
I'd love to see Steve there in particular, because Steve is interested in joining IAM. We are making some significant changes as we move into 2023 on our membership categories, but we've already had discussions about an individual membership for drivers. And that was really instituted by Steve and his inquiries about joining the organization. We typically are corporate memberships, but we're going to find a way to open the door to bring individual drivers into the membership at little to no cost. But we need to embrace them. They need a voice in our industry. And so we need to find a way to do that.
If you're watching this right now, hit that like button if you think that drivers should be invited and incorporated into the IAM conference. Put a comment in there if you think you have an idea on how that should happen or why that should happen. I'd love to hear your thoughts out there. Cody's checking in saying fostering relationships current and new. Nice. File that under networking. That's great, Cody. Is there anyone, tag somebody, Cody, that you met at the IAM conference? In fact, everybody out there, tag somebody that you met for the first time at the IAM conference that you're still friends with or business partners with today. Love to see it. Jamie checking in from Mississippi. Jim Walsh saying networking and experience sharing.
It's all about networking. That's the key word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called networking. Stacey Huff's checking in here, IAMmeetings.com. Yes, that is the link right there. Hit that link. If you haven't registered yet for the conference,
what are you doing?
I don't, where have you been? Like, get on the internet right there, IAMmeetings.com. Yeah, it's the World Wide Web, the information superhighway. Get on it. And go check out IAMmeetings.com, 2 M's, 2 E's, 2 I's. And register for the conference. Chuck, how many people are going to be registered for this conference?
Well, interestingly, last Wednesday was our last report that we had. And so a new one coming up for us tomorrow. But last Wednesday, we had right at 1,500 registrations. We surpassed the pace a month out from where we were in 2019 in Chicago. We're now trending toward our number of attendees that we had in New Orleans, and that was well in excess of 1,700. So wow. I'm looking, and well, that doesn't, it really, 1,700 is a bit of a misnomer. Those are the people that actually come and pay for their registrations. We do have many of those that are on the fringe, looking in, hanging at the bar, that pay everything to get there other than the registration for the event. We want everybody to pay their own way and pay their fair share at this event, not take advantage of what all the good people do. So I'm calling those folks out. But in Chicago, we had, based on the rooms that were sold at the hotel, well in excess of 2,000 people that were there. So not all of them registered, but it's a it's a significant gathering of the entire moving world.
Incredible. Hit that like button. Let us know if you're going to be there. Are you coming to Atlanta? I want to know. I want to know if you registered for the conference. Why did you register? You know, Chuck talked about there's people that didn't register, right? There's lounge lizards out there. Why was it important for you to put down the money and register? Glomo's registered. We have 2 people going. Tim Quirk, who, you know, helps produce this show. Shout out to Tim backstage. Tim, are you guys going? Tim's in. He's got 2. You got 2?
Tim's a sponsor.
Tim's a big sponsor.
Yeah.
Tim's got 3. He said 3. What do we? I feel like we're like doing a little like auction. Can I get 4? Can I get 4? Can I get 4? All right.
I'd like a 4.
Tim's at 3. Tim's at 3 right now. But put it in the comments. I want to know why your company felt it was necessary to register and pay the money. I'll tell you from my standpoint, Chuck, you know, we became members of IAM because we felt like we had to support the association, because supporting the association is supporting the industry, you know, and the industry supports us, right? And a healthy industry means healthy jobs, healthy businesses, you know, great dialogue with our customer bases. And I think that's we have to have that. You know, we have to have good relationships with our customer bases and good relationships with our community. And without a healthy IAM, we don't have those things. So, I mean, for me, that's what it is.
Thank you. And it's been a tough couple of years. I won't lie, just like it's been for most people in the industry. During COVID, it was tough. And we didn't have 2 years where we had full annual conferences. 20 was all virtual. 21 was a hybrid. And we didn't get the kind of numbers that we had hoped for because people were still a little apprehensive about coming out from under the COVID umbrella. But this year, it appears everybody's ready. The breakout is coming, and it could be amazing.
Ooh, everybody is ready to rock and to roll. This is like, honestly, there's like pent up demand right now. Yeah, because we haven't had a full-fledged conference where people weren't a little concerned or there wasn't a little travel restriction, and now it's like, woo, let's go. I'm pumped. I'm so excited. Ben Heller saying, why did I register? Because there's no better place to build moving partnerships.
Ben Heller, my man. Thank you so very much for that. Ben, it's been too long. We had some good discussions. We got to get back to where we were before, Ben, and your organization, so that there are ways that we can build and foster our relationship. So, Ben, let's reconnect.
This is great. This is great here. We got people checking in with these comments. Like, I want to go through all these here and put your questions in there. I will take all of your questions right now. Put them in there for Chuck and myself. Feel free. Megan saying networking and the ability to share the military family perspective.
Amen. Oh. And most importantly to Megan, and I'm coming out with some messaging on this soon, Megan, everybody needs to bring chocolate from their area, chocolate from their country. We're going to do a bit of a networking session where it's just going to be share your chocolate. We're going to do a chocolate overdose. And you think people are hyped up on coffee? Shoot, this chocolate, they're going to be blowing it out here. I'm telling you.
Are we calling this share your chocolate? What are we calling this networking event?
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to call it.
Can we brainstorm? Can we crowdsource this right now in the comments, please?
Right. Let's do it.
We need a chocolate networking session.
And we worked on it last year, and it was just the tip of the iceberg as to what it could be. I can see building a mountain of chocolate from 170 countries. How about that?
I like it. Janet Turner saying, hey, I look forward to taking away hugs. Janet, big hugs coming at you. Megan O'Malley says the networking Move for Hunger is going to be in the house.
Yeah.
How are we getting Move for Hunger incorporated this year, Chuck?
Well, we just really started on the planning for this, and it's starting to explode. We are starting a new tradition, an after party, we're calling it. That'll be following our opening reception on the night of November 2nd. And we're going till after midnight with a fundraiser for the Move for Hunger group. All of the proceeds will be going to Move for Hunger, but we're going to have a great DJ there, and we are going to start a new tradition, the rock, paper, scissors competition, the greatest rock, paper, scissors event in the history of moving. And you can take a trophy home with you as the rock, paper, scissors champion of 2022.
I might need one of those just to outweigh my toilet bowl trophy that I get in the fantasy league. So are we gonna line up 1,700 people from 110 different countries and just start banging out rock, paper, scissors? Like,
I think it's going to be a little more organized with that, with different rounds of competition leading up to that final competition, the championship round, where the rock, paper, scissors champion will be crowned. Everybody's going to be dancing. Everybody's going to be partying. Everybody's going to be drinking, bars set up all around the room. This could get ugly.
Well, speaking of which, Jeff Nadeau is coming in here saying, is Chuck really doing this from a bedroom asking for a friend?
Yes, that would be the case. I'm working from home. Sorry, Jeff, I don't have the mega mansion where I have my special office with the spotlights and everything going on. That's DeWitt money. That's not IAM.
Nobody's got that DeWitt money. Shout out to Burroughs out there. Lakeland saying somewhere Becky's rolling her eyes. This is getting good. Drew Phillips, education, relationship building, and most importantly, intel leading to business ops. Yes, Lakeland checking in from Sudeth. Tahir Mansour, networking is the key.
Middle East, I love it. We got the whole crew in the house. I love it.
Yes. Wasn't Tahir nominated for an award as well?
As well as you, I do believe.
Oh, gosh. Look at you.
Did we want to mention that? We've got a new award surrounding leadership in the IAM, and there have been a number of nominations that have been made, and both you and Tahir, I believe, are nominees for that award.
Yeah, that was a real honor when I heard about that, and I didn't even know. And then Julia posted it, and I was like, wow, I normally have to nominate myself, but somebody did it for me. So that was.
I think that might have been Stacy or somebody behind the scenes.
For anybody that nominated me, whatever misguided soul out there it was, I appreciate you very much.
You put them up to it, you know.
It's pretty cheap to pay somebody to nominate you, to be honest with you. You can put that on Upwork and get it done for like $5 US. It's not bad. Dan Bradley, rock, paper, scissors champ, not just a trophy, but a few free night stays in Toronto.
Oh, there you go. I forgot about that. The champion doesn't just walk away with the trophy, but you get not a few, you get 4 free nights at our 2023 conference in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're going north of the border next year.
And I heard a rumor actually that the rock, paper, scissors tournament would be an all glass Enter the Dragon style mirrored hall. Is that? Yeah.
I don't believe I've been made aware of that, but thank you, Carl. That'll come out of your salary. Carl being a member of the IAM staff. So we appreciate the mirrored hall that you're donating.
This is great. Katie Williams checking in from Ruoff Mortgage in Michigan. She loves the new connections at the conference. And Katie, you might check this out because we don't typically have mortgage providers, but this year we're going to have a ton of RMC representation, maybe 10, 20 different RMCs there and big time buyers as well.
The one thing I think we need to talk to the folks about is our engagement with Mark, the Metro Atlanta Relocation Council. The second day of the conference on the 3rd, it's going to be Mark Day, and they are going to have their own meeting within a meeting, and they will be engaging with the folks from the household goods community. Really, it's exciting for me because of the huge number of cross sections in on the corporate side that are headquartered in Atlanta. I mean, some of the biggest of the big, and we're hoping they will join us as members of the Mark family. So I'm really excited. And that's something we're going to be looking to do each year, is bring in different groups from the city that we're located in that are on the corporate relocation mobility side that wouldn't normally be a part of our conference and give them a taste, let them wet their beak, as we say, in the Cosa Nostra, that they'll get a taste of our meeting and maybe want to come back because they have an opportunity to get in front of thousands of their service providers. Makes a lot of sense.
The Mark tie-in, and shout out to all the folks at Mark, including the president, Tyler Burns, and Lee Massey, and Kristen McLaughlin, and Chris Chalk, and all the people that we've been working with to make this happen. But they've really come out in big support, and we're going to be pulling all these corporate folks from the Atlanta area. We're going to be inviting corporations like UPS and Fiserv and Delta Airlines. I mean, big time names, Home Depot. I mean, real big names, Turner Broadcasting, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Cox companies. Yeah. I mean,
I had no idea the number of huge corporations, worldwide Fortune 500 types that are headquartered in Atlanta. And so that's a real benefit for us, a real benefit for the attendees to be able to hobnob with some of the big names that are associated with Mark.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge, and we're gonna have a corporate panel where they can actually, you can actually come and hear from corporations and the way that they manage their mobility programs. We actually have a corporate only roundtable going on in the morning where they're going to be talking about moving best practices and something we call Ask the Expert, right? Where and forgive me, but we came up with me and Ray Silva as the expert, but. But there's Danishes. That's what you need to know. And so it's going to be Ask the Expert, where the corporate folks can get in the room and ask people who are kind of objective third parties, and say, hey, I want to know what's an RFP best practice, or, what questions should I really be asking my moving company? I don't even know if I'm asking the right questions. I mean, all the things that they wanted to ask and didn't have a resource who was unbiased that could answer those questions. So we're going to be doing that as well. And then, of course, my favorite on Thursday, my favorite session, and put in the comments, what is your favorite session, all-time favorite session you've ever seen at the IAM conference? Put it in there. I want to know, what is your favorite session you've ever seen, or the one that you're looking forward to? And Chuck, I'm going to ask you the same thing. But, I'm looking forward to most is the global mobility leaders discuss the future of relocation session. I think it's like at 1:00 during the core members meeting. Yeah. And we're actually going to kind of take over the core members meeting on the second half after Chuck does his thing. And then we're actually going to bring in Randy Wilson, the CEO of NEI Global Relocation, Chris Lagerman, the president of WHR Global, Anthony Horton, the CEO of Corporate Relocation International, CRI, and Drew Coolidge, the president of Serva BGRS.
That's the one. You asked me earlier when we were talking before the show started, who was I looking forward to hearing? And it's Drew Coolidge. And it's Drew Coolidge because of this recent merger between Serva and BGRS. And I'm very, very interested to see what his vision for this new organization, this new cooperation between these two, this merger, and what that's going to look like, and what does he feel the impact is going to be on both moving and mobility, and what is their reach? I'm just really excited to hear what their vision is for the future, because that they become one of the big dogs in the room, no question about it.
Well, we have two massive things happening. We have a massive thing happening on the corporate side, right, which is the Serva BGRS merger. And then we have another massive, even bigger thing on the military side, which is the Global Household Goods contract, which that award, Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong, supposed to be like finalized this month.
Do you hear the ticking? Because the clock is ticking. I mean, everyone says that this month we're finally there, that the court case that was protesting the award to Home Safe will be decided. And the government seems to be pretty confident that the judge is going to rule in favor of the award moving forward. And that means that we'll have some finality to where we're headed with the global household good contract. It's not a done deal. The question is still out there as to how the judge is going to rule, because the two protesting groups really seem to be pretty confident themselves about the direction that the decision going to go. So this is huge. This is really huge and can really take us in a new direction in both moving and mobility, I think.
I want you to hit that like button if you think the GHC is going to stay with the awardee now, and hit the curious face button if you think it's going to go in a different direction. If there's going to be a last minute injunction, stay of execution, whatever, right? I want to know, hit that like button if you think the GHC is going to be awarded to who it's awarded now. Hit that little curious face. It's green. It might be blue on Facebook. If you think, no, something's going to happen. This can't go down like this. I want to know what you think. We've got people checking in here. We're going to talk about this here because I got comments coming in. Put your comments in the comments. Put your comments in the comments. Some of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, Chuck. Put it in there, and we're going to get to it. I want to know what you think. In the interlude, before we get to that, though, Dan Bradley is saying there's still opportunities to sponsor the after party out there.
You got to go in, because if you go to the IAMmeetings.com website, there's a link there to register for that after party. And that same link will take you to different sponsorship opportunities for the after party. Remember, all of the net proceeds from this event go to Move for Hunger, which is one of the foremost charities in the moving industry. I mean, and it supports those that are dealing with food insecurity. And they have a critical mission. They are well known throughout that community.
Agreed. And Dan Bradley is chiming in and said the after party title sponsor is Cornerstone Moving and Storage. Shout out to the other Chuck Bailey.
Yep. My former boss.
Your former boss. Look at that. The student becomes the master. Just kidding. My words, not yours.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. We're hustling backwards, aren't we? All right. And then Mark Gray here. Also, Mark Gray says Move Research Group is sponsoring the after party. Hope to see everyone there. Hey, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Dan, how much are sponsorships for the after party?
Only a few $1 million. I
can't let Mark Gray outshine me at the after party. I have to.
Almost got to step up. Mark Gray is doing a great job. He's headquartered in Atlanta and has joined IAM. So shout out to Mark and his organization. And thank you for your support at the after party.
Yes, and I'm going to definitely get Mark on the live broadcast too, because we're going to be talking talent there as well, and what type of jobs are hot and how people can position themselves. I want to know, this is your opportunity to sell me a sponsorship there. If you need another sponsorship for the after party, I love a little co-opetition there. We've got a comment coming in here. Steve Miser, driver, Steve Miser, fishing extraordinaire. Check the Facebook page if you need receipts. Says the GHC is the absolute demise of the household goods industry.
I hope that's not the case. So I understand Steve's thoughts here, because what we don't know, new things scare us. I'm not so sure. I will tell you, and I think everyone knows that IAM was one of the lone voices in the woods crying about the possibilities that a GHC would bring. And we've done that for years. But we have seen a real I don't know, roller coaster ride with the current environment in the Department of Defense, and rule changes after mandates, as we think they're trying to match up with the GHC. And so I'm not so sure that once we get to 2023, that the current program is going to look dramatically different than the future program. So I'm hoping this is not going to be the demise, as Steve's talked about, but I think the transition is going to be a bumpy ride. So, but I get where Steve's coming from. Yeah,
Steve, thanks for sharing that. Steve's crying in the woods right now, it sounds like. Chuck's right. I mean, we are afraid of everything that's new. I see Steve's point. Chuck, I seem to recall stories of people crying about TOPS going away and people scared to death of the DP3 program. And there's still people that stand up and talk about LOIs. Yep. But in the end, I mean, the DP3 program worked pretty well. And let's hope the GHC does as well. Yep. One thing
I hope that for military members and their families, because that's as U.S. Transcom always talks about, that's the North Star. Those are the ones that we are servicing and that are, the ones that are out there protecting our way of life. And so we've got to make sure that they get a good move. And so whatever the program is, I think the moving community will step up and be able to do the right thing. That there are a bunch of really, really smart people in our industry, and they're going to figure this out regardless of what the rules of the program are, and make sure that families are moved appropriately.
Yeah, it is all about the families, and Megan's in the comments there, and Megan's always been a great proponent. She's looking forward to seeing all the stakeholders together at the table. TSPs, which are going away, local agents, drivers, Transcom service branches, and military families. Thank you, Megan, for everything you do to bring the family perspective to the table. Appreciate that so very much. People are also asking questions here. We got more questions coming in now. Georgia Angle, when is the launch of the conference app?
It is going to be live. Well, it's live right now, to be very honest. We're finishing up a few details right now, but if you go to the app stores, whether they be Google or iPhone, the app is there. Again, we're adding a few more touches to it as we speak, but you need to look under International Association of Movers, not IAM events. Do not do that, not IAM events. We're getting that one removed from the store, and you need to go to the International Association of Movers, and you'll find the app. You'll be able to upload it, but we're just cleaning it up. So just wait a day or so.
There you have it. Carl, if you're feeling froggy, Carl, put the link in there. If not, I get it. Let's see.
Grape washers. What the hell are grape washers?
Steve is accusing me of
shining the apple. Is that the kind of thing?
Shining the apples, plural.
He's a
produce man. Listen, he's gonna give up this household goods, this bed bugging, and he's gonna start hauling produce. Is what Steve's saying. Okay,
he's not. We need the good ones like Steve to stay the course here. We will make sure you get paid, man.
And Lynn saying, without our great drivers and crews, we're nothing. They deserve to be recognized for their hard work and dedication to please our valued client families. 100%. There we go. And then shout out again to Mark there. And Janet saying, the person she met was Chuck at HUGFA before he became the voice of IAM.
Well, she used to be, I used to be a client of hers when she worked and owner at Wise Enterprises. I think they were on Staten Island. And there you go. I'm shouting it out. And she was one of the first clients that on the corporate side, on the Relo side, that or corporate side, that when I worked at Executive Moving Systems, we were an agent for Janet, and Janet and I got along amazingly well. didn't know what the future held for the two of us, but now, oh my God, we're on a whole different level.
You know, and I love that you point out didn't know what the future held for us, because all the people that I met at IAM 10 years ago when I first started coming to the association, you never know where your paths are going and how they're going to intertwine. But it's those relationships and that trust that you build and those memories that you kind of trade on when you trust someone to do business in the future, right? It's like, I've known them for 10 years. I've known them for 20 years. You know, there's something that comes with shaking hands, looking someone in the eye, especially when you're sending a shipment halfway around the world based on a booking confirmation email, you know, and the trust you have in the RPP, right? I mean, that's basically all you got. I got an email and the RPP, baby, and I'm sending it. Let's go, you know? That's all I got, right?
Well, I will tell you, that's what's, again, going back to it, that's why we're getting such an uptake in the registration for this conference, because this is such a relationship business. And yeah, you can kind of build relationships in this virtual environment we're operating in right now. But there, as you said, there's nothing like sitting in a room, sharing a cold cocktail, looking somebody in the eye, building that relationship and trust, as you talked about, so that when I send that shipment off from Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's going to Brazil, I got some faith it's going to end up getting there and getting delivered. And that is a trust you can't build necessarily online. You got to look that person in the eye and be able to know that they're there for you.
Speaking of looking people in the eye, this is the first person I ever looked at. My dad checking in here. Still don't trust him. Good point about investment in relationships. I love you, Dad. Just
I've seen your dad on this program, so I'm not sure he's got any trust in you, but I don't know.
He's a good man. He's a good man. No, thanks, Dad.
Did you look at him before you looked at your mom?
Well, she was busy, and he was right there, and
okay.
I don't know. Or so I'm told. I don't really know. Anyway, getting back on track here. Carl puts the link in here to the iOS store, which is helpful. Thank you so much. George is saying the app is the International Association of Movers. Very cool. Very cool. Lakeland's over here repping the DAB.
There you go.
The IAM DAB represents the boots on the ground, drivers, packers, warehouse workers, admins, etc., that do the hard work every day. If you're a domestic asset-based mover and you're not active in the IAM DAB mover group, send IAM an email and join the newest group promoting asset-based movers and our needs. Chuck, why is that important?
Well, I just think it was an underrepresented group in our industry. As Steve Meiser would say, it's the suits that were running everything. And the agents, particularly those that are independent, but van line agents as well, that are the boots on the ground, the people that have the trucks and the warehouses and the investments and have personnel that walk into the house, that are really the representatives that determine whether or not a move goes well or not. And I thought that they were underrepresented. We've started this group to advocate for them, to be able to be a voice for them. We've started a new DAB Allies group, that the allies are the folks that are the suppliers that work with these domestic asset-based movers in the U.S. And it's growing. It's growing in intensity. They are the ones that are sponsoring that after party and putting that all together as a way to raise funds for Move for Hunger. But we're doing so many things with this group. We're helping on the introduction of electronic inventories and the growth of that within the industry because of DOD's mandate to have that working by May 15th of next year, 2023. So we are really working in trying to give a voice to all of those entities that Lake talks about, the drivers, the packers, the warehouse workers, et cetera. And so another one of the avenues that we're looking at for 2023 that we've already talked about is bringing drivers in to our membership as individuals And we think that it's probably going to be somehow connected to this DAB group. So they really will have a voice.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been something that's been needed for so long, and I'm so happy it's going on. It's really picking up steam. And yeah, thanks, Lake, for that. Mike Falia is saying Chuck always has a great top 5 at the end of the show. What's on tap today?
Ooh.
So Chuck, I don't know about you.
Can we do a top 5? Are you gonna? I mean,
I think listen, in school, I was one of those kids that always did his homework in class. Like I'd get to class and oh crap, and I start copying from Susie. You know.
Yeah.
So do we want to do a top 5 today, or do we want to do an overrated, underrated, Chuck?
It's up to you. It's your show. My top 5 is easy: Cowboys, 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 and Cowboys. So
all right. So here's what we're gonna do, Mike, and everyone watching this right now. This is gonna be crowdsourced, okay? Because all the best ideas are okay. We're very inclusive on this show, okay? So we are going to do a Cowboys themed overrated, underrated. So I would like everyone listening out there to participate right now. I'm looking at you, Lake. I'm looking at you, Adam, Georgia, Lynn, Tim, everybody out there. If you're watching this right now, I want you to put one word, phrase, or topic in the comments right now, Cowboys themed, that Chuck has to say is either overrated or underrated, and he's got to explain himself. Okay. So I want you, Chuck, listen, you're a public figure. You know, you serve, you're a public servant. Okay. You know, you have to give the people what they want. All right. So put in the comments, whatever topic, it's got to be about the Cowboys, and we are going to do an overrated, underrated at the end of the show, crowdsourced completely. Go ahead, throw it in there. Let's have some fun. Vinny's checking in. He says, hi, Chuck and Ben. I'm super bummed for not being able to make the IAM this year. However, I am super happy to be involved at the very beginning to get IAM and Mark partnership coming together to provide an amazing panel.
Thank you, Vinny. No question. Vinny, I know, couldn't make the meeting because he had a prior engagement, but you know he's big time in us now. I mean, he's with UPS. Come on, man. He's at the top of the mobility heap here. You know, what are they? 60, 70 billion dollar organization, and he's running their mobility program. Please, that's major league. That is major league, Vinny.
And Vinny, next year in Toronto, we expect you in those UPS shorts on a panel.
Ooh,
okay,
that's Brown Town. I like
that's
it.
That's right. Vinny's going all brown, head to toe or head to knee, and we expect you on the.
All I want to do is go to one of Vinny's cookouts. He's got some of that Brazilian beef there thrown on the grill, and I mean, my goodness, that man.
Like a churrascaria, I'm told. Yes, at his house, Vinny.
I can't even repeat that word.
Yeah, it's like one of those fogo de chao things, you know, Tejas de Brazil thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Here, let's see here. Let's see if we got some coming in here. Oh, we do. Oh, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Chuck.
Oh no. Please.
Any other questions for Chuck as we have this coming in here? Adam thinks the finale of the rock, paper, scissors should be a cage match. I don't know if your insurance covers that.
There he is. A steel cage match. I like that.
Yep. And Megan, one last reminder out there. Bring the chocolate. Anyone have some Icelandic salted dark?
Well, I love dark chocolate. So salt or unsalt, I don't care where it's from. Bring the dark chocolate. That's the way I'm talking.
This is not a dispensary, Megan. Okay, you get what you get. All right, you don't just. Good
you can request. Come on.
So these are gonna be chocolates from all different countries, and then aren't they gonna melt in the luggage? Like, are we worried about any of this stuff?
Do you know where the luggage is on a plane? It's probably like -40 degrees.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. It's gonna be sitting on the tarmac in Dubai. It's gonna melt. It's gonna freeze. It's gonna sit in Atlanta, melt. Then it's gonna freeze. All right. We'll see how this works out. I don't know. It could work out.
It's gonna work.
Let's be honest. I'll eat it either way. All right, Chuck. Are you ready for the most epic version of overrated, underrated, possibly of all time? Because it's crowdsourced and it's Cowboys.
All right. Bring it on. I know Dan's got some crap coming at me. That's
way too excited right now. Megan says, serious chocolatiers will hand carry that chocolate. Yeah, you put that with your passport, diamonds, chocolate, and irrecoverable documents.
Money. There you go.
Look at this, Georgia. Georgia said, "Oh, you mean football?" She was gonna she's putting chaps on there. She's like, okay, all right, yeah, Georgia. All right, there we go. Oh goodness, like, listen, I don't make this stuff up. Okay, I just want to say this right out in front. I don't make it up. We're not FCC rated. So I just
keep it somewhat clean.
Says Jerry Jones sex appeal, overrated, underrated, Chuck.
I can't even hardly speak to that. I gotta believe whatever. It's overrated. Jerry has no sex appeal to me. I wish he'd just go and retire and stay the hell out of the way.
Yeah, he's still working. He is still working.
People that are overseas talking about who the hell is this Jerry Jones guy? I feel
they're going to look him up, and they're probably going to Google this exact phrase, and I encourage them to do so. I'm actually going to disagree with you, Chuck, because I think most people sitting at home are saying Jerry Jones. What? Come on now, none, zero, zilch, nada, right? I think he's got more than you might think. I'm going to go underrated.
You think Jerry Jones's sex appeal is underrated?
Underrated, okay? Because I think a lot of people are sitting on zero, and I think it's more than zero.
So point one is
I think it's like Ben Cross and Jerry Jones. Okay,
no.
That's where I put it. That's where I put it.
Ben Cross, look at the hair. Come on, Ben Cross is way better than Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Oh, Micah Parsons, linebacker.
The only problem with that is the guy is from Penn State. That's the only problem there. But I got to go with underrated because he was already the defensive rookie of the year. So I think he might be the defensive player of the year.
Is he the best defensive player in the league?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, have you seen that man rush the quarterback? Oh,
is he better on the line than he is at linebacker?
Yes, in terms of rushing the passer. Yes, him coming off the edge is a scary, scary thing. And for people that don't know, look, this is my passion. I was a high school football coach for 15 years. So there's nothing like watching NFL football for me. My wife she hates it. She hates it.
Well, Chuck, you've just talked yourself into 2 rounds of overrated, underrated, because we also have Cowboy football and Cowboys in general. So let's keep going here. Mike Falia, Dak Prescott, aka the old Cooper Rush.
Yeah. See, after watching Cooper Rush, I'm a little worried that Dak might be overrated a bit, man. But they're going to have to bring him back because of the contract he's got. So I don't know about Dak.
Do we have a quarterback controversy, Chuck?
No, because they can't bench somebody who's making $40+ million. But I feel pretty good with if Dak gets hurt again, it wouldn't break my heart. I'm just saying.
Wow. You heard it here first. I thought the hottest take was on the GHC, but no. If the Dak gets hurt, it wouldn't break my heart. Look at this. I'm just going to leave people with 2 numbers, okay? Cooper Rush is 4-0 career, 3-0 this year. Dak is 0-1 this year.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
there might be a little overrated. I wish
hate
to prove me wrong. To prove me wrong, he got to win the Super Bowl.
They're saying Dak's not going to play against the Rams.
That's good because I believe I played Dan Bradley in our fantasy football league, and one of his QBs is Dak Prescott.
There you have it. Tim Quirk says, overrated, underrated. Cowboys fans.
Oh, we are underrated. We are it. We are it.
In fairness, we're all they got.
I mean, remember the old stadium and they had the hole at the top, and that was because God wanted to look down through the top of that roof and see his team.
That's right.
I mean, come on, God associated
Tim,
with the
Tim
Cowboys.
Quirk, are you saying that God is overrated?
Because God is wrong?
God, come on, Tim.
Hush
your mouth, Tim. You need to go back to church. Tim, you get out. You cut out early today and go to church. Light a candle, man. Come on. Let's see here. Lake saying the only reason I think Jerry Jones' sex appeal is underrated because that bank account made me look twice. And I always feel bad when Kerwin shows up and the conversation's off the rails. All right, I got to get this thing back on the rails here. We got to talk about global mobility and be real smart.
I wish Kerwin would be able to make it to IAM. We had a great conversation about some of the things that he's doing outside of mobility, and there was a lot of synergies there. And I wish that we could connect. I really, really do. I think he would see what we've got going on and be enamored with it and want to jump on board here.
I have a question to ask you, serious question. So Kerwin and I are part of a group who are putting together the Joint Academe Mobility Week, aka JAM Week. It's actually the week after the IAM conference, maybe this 2 weeks after the IAM conference, November 14th, weekend November 14th. And it is an opportunity for University of Texas at Dallas students and the Jindal School of Management, which is one of the foremost business schools in the United States, to come out and do global mobility case studies. So we think we may have over 100 students participating in this competition. And we need to have coaches to coach these students through their case studies, spending 1 to 3 hours a week coaching them through this case study. And we would really love to have someone from the IAM community. We'd love to have you, Chuck, and your constituents, sponsor or nominate somebody to do this. It's a volunteer basis thing, but these kids can win real cash prizes. And because of all the things with supply chain and all the things we talk about, interoperability and standardization and all that kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about in this program, love to have the association get involved.
Just tell me when and where. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'd love to participate. We're also looking to help bring people with many people. Supply chain study is a huge emphasis at the university level now, and mobility and household goods supply chain management are not really considered in that. Everybody wants to look at the dynamics around a FedEx, a UPS, and what are they doing in the supply chain world. But household goods are a critical piece of the supply chain environment. And we have our scholarship fund, the Alan F. Wallstetter Scholarship Fund, that awards $5,000 scholarships, up to 10 of them a year. Wow. And we would love to be able to introduce mobility, the supply chain associated with the movement of household goods to those, to try to draw some of that talent into our environment. And so we can have folks that are in that, doing those studies at the university level apply for our scholarships. If they are not part of a family that has any connection to IAM, for a simple $25 student registration, they can become a member of IAM and thus be eligible for the $5,000 scholarships. So would love to talk about that and be able to make the connection between mobility, household goods supply chain, and what some of these folks are studying at the university.
Yeah, that's awesome, Chuck, and what a great opportunity. And I know, you're giving away $50,000 worth of scholarships, and sometimes you don't have enough people applying, and it's really a tragedy. So this would be a great opportunity to tap into these global business students who are studying things like supply chain, logistics, global mobility, global HR. Kerwin's saying an opportunity, JAM's an opportunity to raise the appreciation of academe on the moving aspect of mobility. We need our next generation to help us bring our practice forward.
No question.
Totally. And Vinny's saying JAM sounds incredible. Thanks for bringing mobility in the forefront of our universities. Yeah, there's actually a global mobility club at the University of Texas at Dallas that meets, and it's growing. And these kids, I meet with them, and some of them are pre-law, some of them are global HR, some of them are global business, international business. It's really incredible. These students are just really, really incredible. So, Kerwin, thank you so much for your help. Vinny, thank you so much for your help in JAM. And if anybody wants to get involved with JAM, please reach out to me. It will be a hybrid event. We're also, this is a big one too, Chuck. This is one. We're offering a virtual job expo for global internships. So we have U.S. students here who major in everything from supply chain, finance, international business, and they're looking for internships overseas. So Chuck, the 170 member companies of IAM, if they want access, 170 countries, 2,000 something members, right? If they want access to U.S. based students who want to work overseas and do an internship, I mean, I would love to invite them for free to get involved in this internship program.
Well, you need to have a little bit of a blurb that we can push out to our membership about this, inviting them to participate, inviting them to connect with you and Kerwin, et cetera, so that we can raise awareness to this. So we've got an industry, we've got the world covered. Let us know.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We have to wrap up here soon. People are going crazy here with the accessories for cowboys. Beaver or felt Stetson. I mean, I don't know if you want to weigh in on silver or gold spurs. I mean, it's a matter of taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Chuck, what do you want to leave people with? This has been a lot of fun. What final thought do you want to leave folks with?
Okay, IAM's 60th anniversary conference, November 2nd through 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, the Hyatt Regency Atlanta. We're about booked up there. We've got an overflow hotel, the Marriott Marquis, which is attached via a covered walkway to the Hyatt. So it's very, very easy if you're not, and if you're a Marriott, points geek, you want to be over there. It's a very short walk, almost as easy as, being in the hotel. So the thing is, I'm looking for numbers that are going to be pushing towards 1,600 this week when we get our report tomorrow. It seems we've got 40 different companies that are awaiting membership just so that they can be able to attend the conference. This is a hot ticket right now. If you don't get there, somebody else is taking your place in receiving shipments, in building relationships to success. I remember my first time coming to the conference and I had cards and potential contracts falling out of my pocket. I couldn't wait to get back to my home office to make these connections and start booking shipments. It is the place to do business and make money. And if you're not there this year, somebody's taking your business away from you.
That's right.
So be there.
Wow, Chuck, I couldn't have said it any better myself. You have to be there. It's can't miss. You know what? And then Kerwin always gets the last. Hey, and if you don't come for any of the things Chuck said, Hunger Games was shot at the conference hotel. Apparently, he said, seriously, I trust you, Kerwin. I'm not saying, honestly, anything he says is gospel. I mean, there you go. You can't beat it. Chuck, I can't wait. I'm going to be there November 2nd through the 5th in Atlanta. You
didn't even get a chance to talk about give them a quick, as you're walking out the door, IAM 360.
Hey, so what's going to happen is No, we are going to be broadcasting live from the IAM conference 3 days in a row. We're going to be broadcasting live and putting it out on LinkedIn, putting it out on Facebook. Here's the key you need to know. You need to follow IAM's Facebook page. And you're like, but Ben, I like coming to your LinkedIn. That's cool. I get it. But I can only do 2 of these a day. And we're going to be doing, could be a dozen different broadcasts throughout the day, talking to global leaders all over the world who are going to be in Atlanta, and so you want to catch all of those. And the only way to catch them all is make sure you follow IAM on Facebook. So go look up the International Association of Movers on Facebook, follow them. That will give you access to a ton of free content that we'll be pushing out. So even if your move coordinator can't make it, or your dispatcher can't make it, or your biz dev person can't make it, they can at least still watch some of that stuff. Now, there's a ton of content you're not going to get. You're not going to get the breakouts, with Drew Coolidge, the president of Serva BGRS, and Randy Wilson from NEI Global, and the military, household goods meetings, and, the 100,000 shipments that are going to be discussed at the global forwarders, panel. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of stuff you're going to miss, but you're going to get a glimpse of the Expo Hall. You're going to get to hear interviews from world leaders that we are going to be interviewing. And you're going to be able to catch that on Facebook, on Twitter, Chuck. You're going to be catching that. We're going to be broadcasting through every channel possible. So make sure you follow IAM on every social media channel. And we're going to be doing it. It's going to be nice. We're going to have 3, a sweet set there at IAM 360. It's going to be like a news desk. If you saw it last year, you might have saw pictures of it. Check out my Instagram. You'll see videos of it. But we're going to be doing that. But before, we just did it for people at the conference on the conference app. This year, we made a decision to bring it to every single one of you so you can all check it out and get big doses of FOMO at home. We like to call it Glomo FOMO at home. And then maybe next year you can use that and say, hey, boss, I got to go to this because people are stealing my business. They're out there. Yeah, look at this. Awesome, Chuck. Thanks so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you in less than 2 months now. We're going to be in Atlanta kicking this thing off.
1 month, baby. We're countdown.
Oh, gosh, less than 1 month from now?
It's October. It's October 4th, and we start November 2nd.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, get ready. You need to get ready. Gosh. You got work to do.
Woo! I got work to do. All right, let's go. All right, everybody. We'll see you in Atlanta.